Okay, got it, Chris. Thank you. Okay, well, I'd just like to take the opportunity to welcome everybody to the our Middlesex County Library Board Tuesday, December 7th, 2021 meeting. And especially like to welcome our new warden, Allison Warwick, to our meeting to take the place. And
thank you. I look forward to seeing you all.
Pleasure to have you here. I'd like to ask for now for provision of disclosure of pecuniary interest or any general nature thereof. Seeing one, we'll move down to 3A, which is the minutes of our November 23rd, 2021 meeting of the Library Board.
So moved.
I'd look, yeah, that's what I was going to say. I look for motion that the minutes of the November 23rd, 2021 meeting, the Library Board be approved as presented. It's moved by Mary Gay. I need a seconder, please. Brad Richards, any further comments or questions? All in favor? That's carried. Thank you. Next, we'll go on to our visioning topic, our new library website demonstration, a demonstration by Amy Sparsinski. Is that close enough or? Okay, Amy, you're up. Thank you.
All right. I don't know if Lindsay has provided background on this in the past.
We've talked a little bit about, I think in my November library report, so this is an in-house designed website. So Amy has been working on this for a number of months. So we purchased a subscription to a platform called Communico, and that allows us to create our own content and manage it and use a number of tools that come along with. It's kind of a suite of products that we've subscribed to. And so we're hoping to set a launch date this month. As Amy will talk about, the structure is there. We're adding more content daily, and we're just waiting for the company to resolve a few technical issues that are a bit beyond our control, but we're hoping to launch it before the end of the year. So very excited to give you the sneak peek of our new website.
Thanks, Lindsay. All right, so hopefully that's working for everyone, and you can now see my screen. So as Lindsay mentioned, Communico offers what is called a content management system. So similar to ones you may have seen promoted online, such as WordPress. I think Squarespace now offers a content management system. This just allows us to build a website essentially with blocks. So different type of blocks hold different sorts of content, and we can drag and drop them to build the site, as well as do a little bit of customized work to get a look more consistent with what we're going for. So this is the main page, what people will see. We will be retaining the library.middlesex.ca URL, so we won't have to worry about changing that in printed communications and the significant number of other places that appears. So that's great. So when they visit that URL, this is what they will see. We have a number of quick links along the side here where people can jump to certain topics. We really wanted to highlight the community navigator position as well as Middlesex early on as being important parts of the library. So while their pages are still in development, we're looking to add more content. They'll have a home that's easily reachable from the front page. Just like now, you can quickly search the catalog. And then jump right back, as well as log into your Encore account. Something that's a little bit different is the scrolling images here are now links, so they can jump right to the page. Currently, on our site, you have to click through a few places to get to the information being promoted in that sliding image. So this just makes it a lot more streamlined. One of the great features for me is that Communico offers widgets. So widget is something that you can kind of feed information into in one location, and then it will update in a whole bunch of different places across the site. So really handy for something like branch hours, where when we're going to be closed for an event like Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Good Friday, I can input that information in one place and it will update across all of the branches. Similar as well, if we have an instance where one branch is going to be closed due to an emergency situation. So let's say last year we had some issues with air conditioning and furnaces, particularly in Mount Bridges, and unfortunately had to close the branch while those issues were dealt with. The Mount Bridges supervisor will now be able to go in and instantly make that update on the site, rather than having to contact myself and I log in to do that for her. We've chosen to make quick links to all of the library resources. Again, this is just for a more streamlined experience for patrons. Previously, you had to visit a digital collections page and then follow the link from there. Now you can jump right to the resource. But of course, you can still also view all of those in one place. And we've embedded videos, how-to videos from another provider that we subscribe to, Niche Academy, right into the page. So if you're new to one of the resources, you can view that video right there. And then we also offer, of course, a little bit of additional help too. Lindsay mentioned that Communico offers a suite of products that all integrate together. And a great example of that is the event management module. So here we can see some of the fake upcoming events that I've created for the library. And registration is just as easy as clicking this button. Entering your library card number, which of course I might not have gotten right. Oh, and there we go. My information is all populated automatically. I can select the age group of my participant. This one we've asked people to please provide their phone number. We have a lot of different options when we create the event and what we can require in terms of asking people to provide when they register. It tells me I'm registered. I can view it. Oh, probably typed it in wrong again. Just my luck, of course. I can't remember my own password. You can see just
it's usually your dog or cat's name.
It's supposed to be the last 4 digits of my phone number.
Oh, okay.
Which I had just typed in, so you would think that would work.
I was about to ask you, Amy, if this is all preloaded, like if the directory is preloaded, because it's moving so quickly, but it's not. You're doing this in real time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like this is a direct connection. Like it just is moving really, really quickly for something with this much complexity. So that's nice to see.
So Communico just switched their hosting to Amazon Web Services.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed an immediate improvement,
Yeah,
not
they've
just
also,
when viewing the site, but when using the back end as well.
yeah, they've also done this new thing in HTML5. So it's like running really quick. I think, Bailey, it's It's really nicely done. I think that's something that patrons are gonna notice as well, not just me.
One more thing to highlight before I show a little bit more about the event calendar is another one of the widgets are the book displays. So really great way to highlight recently added titles to our collection, or if we wanted to create a recommendation list for a special event, and these directly link into the catalog. And this takes really minimal effort from staff who are working on the back end. They enter an ID number that they pull from Sierra, and this is all automatically generated. So here's what the full event calendar will look like. It allows people to filter by event type or age group, as well as location. But currently all the events I created are in Kamoka, so the location limitation won't do anything. It also allows for something that a lot of our branch staff have been hoping for a while, which is the automatic generation of an events brochure that could be printed and posted within the branch, or printed and handed out to patrons visiting. Or saved in email to yourself if you wanted.
So that's supposed to create a PDF right there.
Yep. Oh, did the PDF not show up?
Oh, maybe it didn't on my screen, but that's what it was supposed to do though, right? That's why it was spinning there a bit.
Yes, that's probably me not being very good at using Zoom, that I probably needed to select to share the PDF when it showed up.
Oh,
yes,
okay. So as soon as you clicked, it was done. Yeah,
yes,
I see.
it downloaded right away.
Good. Oh, it's very impressive.
So this is one of the pages that's still in progress. Let's see what else. So this page is set up similar to our digital collections page, where it's our online learning and research resources. Again, we have those videos embedded right in for people who are new to the resource and may want to learn about it. And additional support available down at the bottom. Were there any additional questions or anything that somebody would like to see me demonstrate that I've missed?
Are there any questions that you got for Amy?
Just what Amy says, we're working on adding more content, obviously before the launch, but that's really one of the benefits of using a platform like this, where we have so much more control and more access, and we're able to, so our current website, the version of Drupal that it's created on has already passed its end of life. So we're not able to do a lot of changes and enhancements to it without going back to that vendor and going through that process. So this is a new path that we're taking to really allow us the flexibility to update, make changes, and also take advantage of enhancements that this vendor is constantly working on. There's constantly new technology that they're implementing, new options, new modules. So it's I think it's really going to enhance our presence, like what Bill was saying, just people using the website, and then there are going to be more opportunities in the future that will help us with our kind of marketing and promotion side, and just delivering the kind of virtual experience that our patrons expect.
When would this launch be? Like what type of time frame?
So I think we're hoping to do it before the end of the year. Like I say, the main sticking point is just waiting for the vendor to fix one of the issues. There were two issues that were outstanding. One just got fixed. Amy told me this morning. So we're waiting for the second. So, inserting the content will take a few more days. And then once that issue is resolved, we'll be able to set that date. It's not, in terms of experience for the user, it's not a huge change, like a huge leap for users to switch between our old website and this website versus, I think, the last migration that we went through. So I think it's going to be really easy and simple for patrons to, reorient themselves and be able to navigate the new site. So we're comfortable with setting that launch date, before the end of the year, as long as it's possible.
Okay. Is there any other questions then with respect to this, the website and the changes with respect to it?
I think Ruth has a question.
Okay, Ruth, sorry, I don't have all those people on the screen, so.
That's okay.
Ruth, sorry.
I just want to say, Amy and Lindsay, this is very impressive. Oh my goodness. And very slick. And I look forward to using it.
Oh, thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, Amy's done a tremendous amount of work. And I forgot to I think most of you are familiar with Amy, but Amy is our technical services coordinator. She wears many hats, but has been in charge of website updates for a number of years. And so she is leading this project to create our new site. She's done a fantastic job.
I concur with Ruth, and thank you, Amy, for this and the presentation. I know that somebody in the person that does all the looking in our household will be happy to see this. So,
Oh, thank you so much.
appreciate it. Okay, if there's no other questions, sorry, Mary Gay, go ahead.
Thanks. Thanks, Jim. That's okay. So I don't know if Amy wants to answer this or Lindsay, but Lindsay, will there be help for anyone trying to navigate this at the libraries?
Definitely. I mean, part of the process is going to be giving staff that, a preview period so that they're comfortable with the site. And so, we'll be scheduling that as soon as everything is done, so that people are aware of the changes and can walk their patrons through it. And then part of this process, we'll look at developing, we've often developed different help guides, like printable resources that, again, staff can print off for people, if they need just a little more help on how to navigate, to find those key parts of the website, logging into your account, making sure that people know that the processes are still the same. It's just the buttons might be called something different, but we think it's pretty intuitive, but staff will definitely be prepared to help people along with it.
Thank you. And I agree with Ruth. This looks pretty exciting, and it looks even maybe a little easier to navigate than the last one. Yeah. Thank you very much, Jim.
No
Thanks,
problem.
Lindsay.
I go to Brad next. Go ahead, Brad.
Thanks, Jim. Yeah, just a comment. I could really see like an event being promoted a lot better, and you're going to probably increase all your attendances to a lot of these events too, because it's going to be really like a wow factor here. So congratulations, good job.
Absolutely. That's a really important point. On our current website, it wasn't pulling from our event calendar in that way. And just, it makes a really eye-catching section of the website that'll change every day. So people, they might stumble upon a program that they weren't aware of. So I think that's going to be really effective.
Okay, thank you. Thanks again, Amy. And we'll move on to, if there's no other questions, I'll see a hand up. We'll move on to action items. 5A, the 2022 draft library budget, the report from Lindsay Brock. And Lindsay, maybe she could explain where the plus and minuses are from what we discussed last meeting.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Chair. So we are coming back to you with the final draft of the budget. So you have a report that was included in the agenda package. I'll kind of be jumping back and forth, but I think I will start with the attachment. So that showed the full draft 2022 budget. So I'm just going to open that here. Okay, so this is the same format of document as we looked at in November, but these are updated figures. So following last month's meeting, we did go back and revisit all of the categories, and I'll walk you through those changes here now. So first, under revenue categories, so we do have increased revenue from the Social Services Department. So now that revenue line is sitting at $123,877. That's an increase of $32,377. And this is funding that that Cindy, the Social Services Department, was able to allocate to the library to ensure support for that community navigator position for the full year. So originally, this was a pilot project, and the original contract for that position was set to end at the end of March. But Cindy has confirmed that we're able to support this position through to the end of the year. And so that's where those additional funds come into play. So that's the adjustment to the revenue side. And then we can go through the expenditures. So the primary change here relates to the salaries budget. So you'll see our new salaries figure is $2,785,879. So what Cindy and I did was we went back through the staffing budget line by line, really delved into it to ensure that there were no discrepancies, no duplications, nothing out of place. We noted one factor that we didn't discuss at the November meeting, and that was the addition of that community navigator position in 2021. So if you'll remember at the last meeting, the point was raised that there was a significant increase in the salaries budget going when you compared 2020 to 2022. But now recognizing that that community navigator position was a factor, we can see that the increase was, that kind of natural progression. So it's an increase resulting from job evaluation, which we talked about, those regular annual increases, and then that addition of that contract full-time position. Like I said, the funding for that position comes from the Social Services Department. It's funded through the Community Homelessness Prevention Initiative funding. So the library does recoup those costs, but it is still reflected in the staffing budget as an increase. So that was a new position added in for a full year in 2021, and we see that reflected again in the 2022 budget. So I just wanted to point that out. And then, when Cindy and I looked at the staffing budget, at all the hours, we calculated the number of staff hours that were needed to staff all of our open hours at our 15 branches. And that's just under 54,000 hours of staff time per year. And so we compared that number to the number of hours allocated in the draft staffing budget. And so recognizing that 2022, we're still going to be operating under some restrictions. We will be at full hours as of the week of January 17th, but we won't be at full programming capacity. We aren't going to our plan is to restart programming in the second quarter. Fingers crossed, everything goes well. But we won't, and then we'll be slowly phasing in that in-person programming over the year. So we won't be at our maximum or regular level, kind of pre-pandemic level of programming until likely later in 2022. So knowing that we'll have that gradual increase in programming hours, we have reduced the number of staff hours allocated to programming in this budget that's before you. So we've reduced that number of hours by just over 1,000 hours. And that results in a reduction of $28,983. So that's what we have. That's the difference between this salaries figure and the salaries figure that we looked at in November. So we were, we wanted to make sure that we had the right size budget, the right number of staffing hours for the year. And, I'm confident that we can make this reduction without impacting the integrity of our service. and that this accurately reflects the level of programming that we anticipate being able to run in 2022. So that's the savings that we were able to find and bring back to you in this final draft of the budget. So that's the salaries line. Benefits has slightly decreased by $1,237. Again, this is related to that reduction of programming hours. So there's that slight increase in that benefits line. And then operations, collections, branch development, branch rent, all remain the same. No changes to those categories, and as well, no change to the automation category. So those are categories that we discussed last month, but I'm happy to answer any questions if anyone wants any more detail on those. And then the other line that has changed is our capital budget, so our transfer to capital. The number before you is $154,760. So this is an increase of $3,200 from that November version. The IT department was waiting for some confirmed quotes from a vendor, and that those numbers were received after our last meeting. So I've incorporated that change here, and so this is the additional $3,200 is to go towards 2 new products related to multi-factor authentication and phishing. So, again, strengthening our network basically and enhancing the security of it. So that's that change to the capital budget. And then library office maintenance, no change. And our early on project budget has no change from last month. So overall, we've increased the revenue by $32,377, decreased expenditures by $27,020. And this results in an overall decrease from that November version of $59,397. So that decrease is to the county contribution compared to our draft budget in November.
5,900.
59,000 overall, because we increased the
Okay.
revenue by 37,000, decreased our expenditures by 27,000. And so that overall is that $59,000 decrease in the county contribution
Okay.
overall. So I'm just going to refer back to, I'll stop sharing for a moment, but I can bring these back up if there's any questions. I'm just going to refer back to the report. The purpose of the report is to present the 2022 net budget submission of $5,495,559. This represents a decrease of $131,621 over last year. But the proposed budget reflects a county contribution of $4,563,635, which represents an increase of $232,002, or a 5% increase over last year. If you'll remember, we did have additional funding that we were able to tap into last year. We had a significant surplus, as well as municipal modernization funds that we were able to use for capital projects. So that has impacted and led to this increase of the county contribution. Like I already said, this proposed budget brings us back up to full staffing hours, but a gradual increase in in-person programming, and it also reflects another full year of the community navigator position. Rental payments increased by 3.5% based on the consumer price index. And then the capital budget that I mentioned, again, that will primarily support replacement of hardware in our branches and staff workstations as well as continuing to support the Wi-Fi hotspot project, and then allocate funds for branch technology programming opportunities. So I'm happy to answer any questions that you have, and then there is a recommendation there on the report.
I'm just going to open up for any questions. I know that you've gone through and done a very thorough job of it. I don't know why I look at it, it's a fairly lean budget. So I'll open up for any questions. If anybody's got any questions or comments they'd like to make, I'd like to hear them now. Okay, then if you're satisfied with it, I'd look for basically a motion that the 2022 budget estimate be received by the library board and forwarded to the budget committee of the county council for further consideration and approval. Is that the motion we're looking for, Lindsay? Okay, moved by Brad and seconded by Ruth. Further discussions or comments? All in favor? Carried, thank you. That was an excellent report, by the way, Lindsay. You really understand it, so thank you. Correspondence information items, early on program status for September 1st to October 31st. I guess that, is there any questions with that? And if not, I'd look for that item 6A be received for information. Moved by Mary Gay, seconded by Ruth. For the comments, all in favor? That's carried. Thank you. Are there any inquiries? And seeing none, new business under 8A, there's a list of the next meetings to next December. So anybody's got any questions? Pardon
Sorry,
me?
Jim, I had my hand up, but just at the
Oh,
tail
sorry.
end there, you missed it. Sorry about that. I'm just inquiring about the library super conference, and when does the registration start, Lindsay?
I haven't seen a date yet. It's going to be virtual again. And again, they've offered the package where, you can send as many library staff and trustees as you want for a set fee, which is really reasonable. So that's what we plan to do. So I'll follow up and make sure that you get the registration dates as soon as possible. And I'll double check. I'll send out the actual conference dates too, so that you can see if it fits with your schedule.
It's February 1st to the 5th, but they don't have the registration stuff up yet.
Yeah. Yeah, I've
Thank
got the
you.
dates because I know they've sent me the dates before and I've got the dates, but on my calendar, but you're right. I was just gonna, it's a good point though, Mary Gay, because I want to make sure that we do get those people that want to attend get the opportunity to, because I've always found it a very informative conference for, the library staff or members. And no other inquiries? And we've gone through the new business. And if no, we'll move to item 9. And 9A is at number 17, a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the December 7th, 2021 meeting of the library board. Look for a mover and seconder of that bylaw. Moved by Brad, seconded by Ruth. All in favor? Okay, now look for third and final reading of the bylaw. Mary Gay moved it, Ruth seconded. All in favor? That's carried. Thank you. Okay, well, I do want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and I hope they have a good holiday. And it's nice to see our new warden here. So any comments there, warden?
No, I just, I know that I talked to Lindsay earlier this morning and she outlined some projects that she'll be featuring in 2022. So it sounds like an exciting year for our libraries this year. And I know that going back to longer hours and having more people allowed in and is going to be something that everybody's going to look forward to.
Yeah, it seems like we get through the year pretty quick and they're always busy years. So I think it bodes well for our staff we have. So if there's no other business, then I would look for a motion to adjourn. Moved by Brad Richards, second by Mary Gay. All in favor? That's carried. Thank you very much. It's been a very enjoyable year as a library board.